Hello friends, I am Amit Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Kanvian University, Jaipur. Today I discussed the pure substance part 2nd. So let us start. So as you know that from the previous lecture, I discussed already about the pure substance part first, where the first transformation of the water, first transformation of steam. So today we are discussing the first pure substance of part second, which is based on the temperature entropy TS diagram for water and steam. So generally, as you know that we have to already discuss and already understand all the phase transformation of the water from the solid to liquid, liquid to the vapor, and vapor to the steam completely, where the changing the all the three phases, the solid, liquid, and gas, but the uniform chemical composition, uniform equilibrium condition acting on that. There is no change in the chemical composition. There is no change in the purity of the water because we consider water as a pure system. So that time the temperature entropy that is denoted by the temperature T, capital A, capital T, and entropy denoted by small s. That is the temperature and entropy diagram for the water and steam are shown in the figure. So the vertical coordinate represent the absolute temperature with the origin 0 as absolute 0. That is the condition acting on the 0 degree Celsius or 273 Kelvin. And epistome represent the entropy. The advantages of temperature and entropy diagram over the PV diagram is that the area under the TS diagram represents the heat added or heat rejected during the process, while the area under the PV diagram represents the work done. So the temperature and entropy diagram is very useful in the study of the thermodynamic property, especially for the reversible adiabatic process. So consider a unit mass of a under of a water at 0 degree Celsius, or we can say 273 degree Kelvin, is heated at a constant pressure up to the boiling point, that is 100 degrees Celsius. So when the heat is added to the water from the 0 degree Celsius to the 100 degrees Celsius, the entropy of the water increases with the increases in the temperature by plotting the corresponding value of temperature and the entropy. So we get a curve OA, and this curve OA is known as the water line or the liquid line. And the increasing in the entropy of water is represented by the OA1, and the area under the curve OA represents the sensible heat of water and also known as the enthalpy of water. So that way the condition is a temperature entropy diagram. You can see here, this is a temperature and entropy diagram, where respectively the A diagram shows that the sensible heat, that is from the 0 to A, that is we can say saturation point. That is totally depending upon third area. In between A to B is we can say the liquid plus gas area. And from B to C, it we can say superheated area because at that time the temperature reaches more than the above boiling point, and it will convert it into totally the vapor. It will does not existing any water particles or level or vapor particle. It completely behave like a perfect gas. So that the temperature in the entropy diagram we can see in the diagram B, that is the X, that means is X indicate that is the dryness section. Dryness section at a particular point, the line A, A1, A2, A3, that is indicate this right and left hand side line indicate as the water region. And in the right hand side, that is the B, B1, B2, B3 is acting as a superheated region. And where the C, that is the P point, that is we can say critical point, where the liquid and the vapor are merged together, and at the same point, that time we can say it is a critical point. And we can say that is a 324 because 374 degrees Celsius, that means it's above the boiling point of the water, and after the boiling point of the water, it completely totally changed. The transformation of the steam it converted into pure gases, or we can say the pure beer like a perfect gas. So that time the x is the x0, that means the dryness fraction is 0, X is equal to 0.2, that means 0.2% is water is the dryness fraction. X is equal to 0.4, that means the for 0.4% dryness fraction, until the reaches the X is equal to 1.0, that means the 1% is the dryness fraction. So when the temperature, when the entropy increase, that means the temperature increase, and temperature down, that's the entropy will decrease. So this is the phase transformation, and we can simply set the temperature entropy diagram. That's why we have to understand the temperature entropy diagram for the water and the steam is known as the from the figure, that is the vertical ordinates. They represent the absolute temperature with origin 0 degree as the absolute zero, that is the 273 degree Kelvin. Or we can say it is an Abiscar represented like the entropy, that is the entropy, that means the degree of the randomness, we can say. Where the heat is increasing, the temperature increasing, and during the temperature increasing, the entropy will increasing. And same as it is when the heat is decreased, temperature is decreasing, then the entropy is decreasing, respectively. The entropy is basically increasing or decreasing totally depending upon the heat supply. So when you have to adding the more heat supply, that is the more temperature increase, that is the more entropy will increase. If the temperature is down, then go, and the heat is will goes down, that means the entropy also when it goes down, it will decrease. So the advantages of the TS diagram over the PV diagram is that the area under the TS diagram represent the heat added or the heat rejected during the process, when the area under the PV diagram represent the work done. So that time the TS diagram, temperature entropy diagram, is very useful in the study of the thermodynamic properties, especially for the reversible adiabatic process. So consisting a unit mass of the water at 0 degrees Celsius, and it is heated at a constant temperature or the constant pressure up to the boiling point reached, that is 100 degrees Celsius. So when the heat is added to the water from the 0 degrees Celsius to the 100 degrees Celsius, the entropy of the water increases with the increasing in the temperature by plotting or by the corresponding the value of the temperature and the entropy. So we get a curve of 0A, that is the OA, and this curve OA is represented as a water line or the liquid line. And the entropy we can say of the water is representing, that is we can say SF, and the sensible heat of the water that is represented by the diagram, that is the A, and that is the O to A is simply we can say SF, that is the sensible heat of we can say the condition of liquid. SF, that is entropy of fluid. S, that is entropy, and F, that is the fluid. Where A to P consisting as SFG. SFG, that is entropy of liquid and gas both, fluid and gas both. FG. And BC represent, that is S sub, that is a S superheated. S superheated region. The condition is starting from the O, that is from the point of 0, then it reaches T saturated, that is where the temperature of water will convert properly in the 100 degrees Celsius, and water will start to boil, and it converts its starting point and conversion point starting from the water to the steam. But it cannot completely say it's pure steam. It is a mixture of the liquid plus the gases. Then until the water not completely boil, that is the water get heated completely after the boiling point reaches 100 degrees Celsius, it will continuously heated, and it will continuously heated until it will not completely convert into the pure gas. That is, we have like a perfect gas. So simply we can say the line indicate in the diagram B, that is the left hand side, that is the curve that is shown from 0 to P, that is A, A1, A2, A3, and P is consisting as a water line, water region. And the point which show the P, B1, B1, B2, B3 to P is consisting of a saturated heated region. But the condition is different. That is from the condition is different. That is dryness fraction is also considered as x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0.2, x is equal to 0.4, x is equal to 0.6, x is equal to 0.8, x is equal to 1.0. So this is totally the phase transformation, basically. Depending upon the condition, depending upon the heat treatment, heat considered, heat supply continuously until the vapor is not reached, or until the when completely cover water vapor not completely removed from the steam. It will pure form, which will be happen when the purity of the steam is take place when the water is completely removed from the steam. So that time we can say temperature and the entropy is the most important essential factor. With the increasing of the temperature, within temperature, entropy is increase. With the decreasing the temperature, the entropy will decrease. And this is depending upon the conditions, depending upon the criteria. So different conditions occur, different act the we can say the entropy occur, or is a simple diagram to be understand the phenomena of temperature entropy phase of a liquid medium to the water. So hopefully, simply to understand that the factor measure to be considered is here to consider as a point, critical point, that is where the liquid and steam are both merged at the same point and at a temperature of 374 degrees Celsius. That by the dotted line, that is this line to be consisting as the dryness fraction of each and every point with a different temperature region. So with increasing the temperature, the dryness fraction will be increasing. That is from the Gx is equal to 0 to x is equal to 1.0. So the water region in the form at the left hand side and the superated region that is in the right hand side, it totally depending upon the conditions occur with increasing the temperature or with decreasing the temperature. So the entropy increasing or entropy decreasing, totally depending upon the criteria of the heat rejection or heat added. And in the case of the water, that is the form is the water they have three stages from the solid liquid and gas, that is solid in the form of ice, liquid in the form of water, and gas in the form of the steam. That is all the three phases, the pure chemical composition are same. There is no change in the chemical composition, there is no change in the purity of the water. So it will consisting of an entropy, it will consisting of a temperature that will be change the phase, but the all pure condition, the pure chemical formula will not be changed of water. That's why it is consisting as a pure substance, pure source. There's no change in the chemical composition. There's no change in the existing of the water to be chemically changed by the phasing of addition of heat or the removal of heat. So that time we can say temperature and the entropy. It is the SF, that is the entropy of a fluid. HFG, that is the entropy of a fluid plus vapor. And S super, that is the entropy at the point of a superheated steam. This is the phase transformation diagram. This is temperature and entropy diagram of water. At that time, we have to can understand that the basic phenomena. That's why we can say this is the advantages of the TS diagram over the PV diagram. Is that the area under the TS diagram represent the heat added or the heat rejected during the process, while the area under the PV diagram represent the work done only. And this is the TS diagram, and this is very helpful in the study of the thermodynamic property, especially for the reversible adiabatic process. At that time, we can say it will be consisting of a water of 0 degrees Celsius is heated at constant pressure up to the boiling point 100 degrees Celsius. So when the heat is added to the water from the 0 degrees Celsius to the 100 degrees Celsius, the entropy of the water increases with the increasing in the temperature by plotting the corresponding value of the temperature and the entropy. We get a curve of OA, and this curve is OA is known as the water line or the liquid line. And the increasing in the entropy of the water is represented by the OA line, it is SF, entropy at the point point liquid SF. So that time we can say it's a phase transformation. So hopefully it will understand by you. On the further heating of the water, that is the evaporation of the water start from the point A. And it will be considered as a point B, that is you have to write down this point A from the figure B we have discussed here. On further heating of water, the evaporation of water start from the point A and continues up to the point B. So the evaporation takes place at constant pressure and the heat added during the evaporation, that is the from A to B, is known as the latent heat of evaporation, or we can underline show that AB, that is the area A, B dash and A dash. So the increasing entropy during the evaporation is represented by the line A1, B1, that is the SFG. Entropy of fluid and the gas, both are represented by the line A dash, B dash. And the line AB is the evaporated line, and it will be considering, we can say, when the heat is transferred or when the heat is further added after the water is completely evaporated at point B. So the temperature of entropy of steam increasing as shown by the curve VC, so which is known as the superheated design. And the area under the curve, that is the VC, that is the area VC, C1, V1, gives the total heat or the enthalpy of the superheated steam. And the increasing in the entropy during the superheated steam is represented by the V1, C1, that is as superheated. So now if the entropy value are plotted corresponding to the absolute temperature at different pressure, so we get the point A1, A2, A3, etc. and the B1, B2, B3, then etc. the point. So the curve obtained by the joining the point, that is the A1, A2, A3 is etc. is known as the water line, and with the curve is obtained by the joining the point, that is the B1, B2 and B3 etc. is known as the dry steam line. So the point where these two curves, that is the water line and the dry steam line meet, is known as the critical point at a temperature of 374 degrees Celsius, or we can say 647 Kelvin. So it will be considered as a different criteria that you have to write in this diagram. They shown in this diagram. Temperature and the entropy region, where 374 temperature will be reached at that point where the superheated steam will be reached. But there is no presence of any water vapor in the gases and the vapor. It's completely behave like a perfect gas. The purity of the gases does not contain any water particles. So that time we can say it simply understand the process parameters, or we can say the line under which the constant pressure we have to supply the decreasing the temperature, the increasing the temperature by removal or addition of the heat. So this is the phase transformation, or the phase transformation that will act like a to be the dryness section will be considered whenever you have to increase in the temperature from the point of A1, A2, A3. It will increase in the dryness section, and it will reach the superheated area with the A to B, that is the x is equal to 0.1 for the dryness section from the 0 x is equal to 0. So at the center point, that is where the liquid line and the vapor line reach together and make a one point, that is a P, that we can say critical point. And there is one also for the triple point where the solid, liquid, and the gases phase are in the thermal equilibrium of the three phases. At that time we can say the triple point. And it's acting in the condition that like the temperature A1, B1, or we can say A to B, A1 to B, A2 to B2, A3 to B3. That means with temperature we have like a perfect gas. At the point where to reach the P4, it is a superheated region where there is no any water particles present in the vapor. It is a completely say it is a pure substance. This is a pure substance. This is the phase transformation, and this is the temperature entropy diagram of the water, where the water converts from the steam to the superheated steam. So this is the temperature and entropy diagram. Now next, that is you can see in this here, that is the two diagram are also represented the isothermal and the isentropic process. What is the isothermal process? Isothermal process at the temperature is constant. Temperature is constant. That means from point A to B, there is nothing change in the temperature. There is nothing change in the temperature from the process A to B. There is a change in the entropy. At that point, the dryness fraction of the water at the point A is x is equal to 0.2. And at the point of B, the dryness fraction is x is equal to 0.8. That is the 80% of the dry air consisting at point B and only 20% of the dry air consisting on the point A, because A is the region where the temperature of the water is very down and it will not be a change the phase from the liquid to the vapor. But in the case if you increase in temperature, that means the entropy will be changed. That means the phase transformation is converting into the water to the steam, and the steam will get the 80% of the dryness factor, that is 0.80%, means 80% is the gas is the dry. There is no water particle presenting on this particular point, that is x is equal to 0.8. That time the entropy, we can say entropy will change from A point to B point, but the temperature remains still constant because it is an isothermal process. This is the isothermal process basically. Second one is that is the temperature and entropy again the point B, that is the isentropic process. Where the entropy is constant and the temperature remains changed, that is from state A to B. Isentropic, that means an entropy is constant. There is no work to be done on the system, that is from the critical point we occur. Where the region of the water and the region of the vapor meet together and make a one point, it is one of the critical point. At that time, the temperature change. Let's say from TA temperature at point A to temperature at point B, it will change, but the entropy is remain constant from A to B. That is the SA, the value of SA is equal to same and SP is equal to same for that. There's a no change in the temperature. There's a no change. So there is a change in the temperature, but there is a no change in the entropy at point B, that we can say in the diagram B, is the isentropic process is held. So due to the isentropic process, if the entropy will remain constant from the point A to B, and at the point of diagram A, that is the isothermal process, that means the temperature remain constant and the entropy will change. Both are the diagram is temperature and entropy diagram, but the different process condition. The A is representing as the isothermal process and B is representing with the isentropic process, where the entropy is constant and where the isothermal is there, where the temperature is constant. So this is a totally phase transformation process, but simply we can say that a different condition, different occur, where the isothermal condition and another one is the isentropic process condition. So the line AB is divided into the 10 parts, each represent the dryness fraction of the steam from the x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 1.0. And the line joining the same value of a dryness fraction for the different pressure as one of the constant dryness fraction line. So an isothermal process on the temperature entropy TS diagram is represented by the horizontal line as shown in the figure, that is the AB. Since there is no change of temperature during the isothermal process, that is the temperature is still constant, that is the TA is equal to TB. So an isentropic process on the temperature entropy TS diagram is represented by the line as shown in the figure AB, that is the form of B figure. Since there is no change of enthalpy or total heat during an isentropic process, but there is no change in the entropy, that means we can say SA is equal to SB. So the change of the enthalpy, there is no change of enthalpy, there is no change in the entropy, but the temperature will change as a different from A to B. So that time we can say it is a temperature entropy diagram in the point B. We can say that the temperature will change from TA to TB. With respect to the dryness fraction, will also change. but the entropy is constant. That is the point A to A is B. But because it's the isentropic process for that. And this isentropic process will remain changed until the temperature entropy will remain constant. There's no effect of any entropy change because there's no work to transfer. So it is a simply we can say the entropy is a very important for the transformation of the phase because it is related to the heat supply where the isothermal process in the figure A, you know that the temperature is constant. The temperature at point A and the temperature at point B is a remains same. There is no change in the temperature because it is due to the isothermal process, and it will change only the entropy at point A and entropy at point B. Second one is the temperature change in the form of the isentropic process, but the entropy remains still same. There is no change in the entropy. The term Ta is equal to Ta is equal to Tb, that we can say entropy will change, or we can say entropy is still constant. Both are quantities different basically. Now the second part is the pressure, specific volume, and the temperature surface of a pure substance. Pressure, specific volume, and the temperature surface of a pure substance are considered here when the pressure P, specific volume V, and the temperature T are plotted along the three mutually perpendicular coordinates. And it will result in the pressure, volume, and temperature surface. And it represents the equation of state graphically. And these surfaces are useful for bringing out the general relationship among the three phases of a matter normally under the consideration. To have pressure, volume, and temperature surface of a pure substance, such as water, the single phase region, that is a solid, liquid, and the gases, or we can say vapor phases. So there are two phases region, that is solid liquid, solid vapor, and the liquid vapor. And the critical point and the triple point are shown in the figure, and the saturated line separates the line region from the liquid vapor region, or we can say whereas the saturated vapor line separates the vapor region from the vapor liquid or liquid vapor region. So this is the pure substance volume and temperature region from PVT diagram. So you can see here, this is a PVT diagram. Okay, this is a PVT diagram which is reported as all the 3 points are covered in a single diagram. For the pressure P is representing from that right hand side, from the base side of the front that we can consider as a volume, and from the inclination that we can consider as a temperature phase diagram for that. So these all the pressure, volume, and temperature diagram are existing in a single phase. That means the first of all we have to consider here that is a 1 point. That is a 1 point is to be here the solid phase. Because the solid, that means we can say when the pressure increasing, the solid phase increasing and temperature will decrease. Okay, so that time the solid will transformation. But whenever you have to increase in the temperature, that is the solid plus liquid vapor start, it will liquid will start. But at a time that is not a completely vapor, it is a solid plus the liquid vapor line to be reached at the point of line D to B that we can say. Another one, that is the line, that is the C point, that is the critical state point where the liquid plus vapor line merge together and having the phase transformation, but it does not contain as a pure liquid, it does not contain as a pure solid or vapor. It is a mixture of the combination of the 2 points. So simply we can say that the vapor, or we can say after the continuously heating at the constant pressure, that means we can say that gases will start to completely convert into the pure form, that is the vapor form. And it will be consisting as a pure vapor, not the particle, the water particle will be presenting on that. So this is a phase transformation, basically. So it will cover as a constant pressure, it will cover as saturated vapor line. That is the vapor line to be converting as a phase transformation. That is to be not we can say the pure substance. Because as you know that in the two phases region, In the two-phase region, the line of constant pressure and the constant temperature are same. So through the specific volume may change. The triple point actually appears as a triple line on the PV pedestal, that is the pressure, volume and temperature surface, as the pressure and the temperature of the triple point are fixed. But the specific volume may vary depending upon the proportion of each phase, and the triple line that will become a point on the pressure and temperature diagram. So since the freezing point or a freezing temperature normally increasing with the pressure, the substance contact of the freezing, however, the water behave in the positive direction. So it will freeze the temperature decreasing with the increasing the pressure. So it's expanding on the freezing line from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the constant pressure line. So that's why we can say this is a constant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a constant pressure line. It will consider as it is point. This is a completely transformation of the process. This is a completely transformation of the solid to liquid, liquid to vapor, and vapor to the constant, only the vapor. That is a completely fluidity form of the vapor. That time we have to understand that is what is the condition we have to calculate it, that is in the pressure, volume and temperature diagram, that is a part of a saturated liquid line which is consisting at the point of the 4 to 5, or we can say 4 to C, that's the section where the C is a critical section where the liquid and the vapor point are mixed together. Vapor is a rich line vapor, that is we can say constant pressure line, or we can say it is a saturated vapor line where the temperature of the water vapor existing together at the dryness fraction will be considered as a from 0 to x 0.1 at a different region with the increasing of the temperature, with the increasing of the entropy. So that time we have to consider this 2 point phase. The triple point actually appears in the triple line on the pressure, volume and surfaces. So as the pressure and the temperature of the triple point are fixed, but the specific volume may vary depending upon the proportion of the phases. And this triple line become a triple point, that is a pressure, temperature and diagram. And we can say simply the freezing of the temperature normally increasing with the pressure, and the substance construct on the freezing, and however the water behave in the opposite direction. And increasing the temperature decreasing with the increase in the pressure. So it expand on the freezing and is shown in the constant pressure line. Now the term different, now the important terms as applied to the steam. What are the different terms used for the steam? It's the most important to understand the different type of steams are as follows. The first is wet steam. Wet steam, that means when the steam contains moisture or particles of water in a suspension. It is said to be wet steam. It means that evaporation is not complete and the whole latent heat has not been absorbed. That means that some water particles contained in the steam, if not we say it is a pure steam, it will contain as some water particles. That means the evaporation process is not be completely held. Or we can say the latent heat has not been absorbed completely. So this is an important criteria to understand about the different type of steams, to understand the different kinds of the steam. Because ultimately what happens, the ice will convert to the water and water will convert to the vapor, that means water convert to the steam and steam will convert to the vapor and the form of gas. So first of all, you have to understand very clearly what is the steam and what are the different type of steams are as follows. Second, the dry saturated steam, that is when the wet steam is further heated. When the wet steam is further heated with a high temperature and it does not contain any particles of the water in the suspension, then it is known as the dry saturated steam. So it has received the whole of the latent heat and behave its same and manner as a perfect gas. Third is superheated steam. When the dry steam is further heated at constant pressure, when the dry steam is further heated at the constant pressure beyond the saturated temperature, that is the term is used for the beyond the saturated temperature, then it is called the superheated steam. So since the pressure remains constant, the volume increases when heat is supplied and the volume of 1 kg of superheated steam is considerably greater than the volume of the 1 kg of saturated volume steam at the same pressure. The dryness factor of the quantity of the pressure steam. It is defined as the mass of the dry steam in a certain quantity of the steam with the mass of the wet steam, and is generally expressed by the letter X, that is the dryness fraction. So it is very most important to know that is about the dryness fraction or the quantity of the steam. It is defined as the mass of the dry stream in a certain quantity of steam, the mass of the wet steam. So it is generally represented by the letter X if mg is the mass of the dry steam and mf is the mass of the water particle in suspension in the steam considered. Then the formula is expressed as X is equal to mg divided by mg plus mf or is equal to mg divided by mw. It will represent as a mass m of gas plus mass of fluid. Mw means the mass of the wet steam, where it may be noted that the dryness of the fraction of the dry steam is unity. So this term is very most important to understand, the important term that is applied for the steam. It is wet steam, dry steam, superheated steam, and the dryness fraction of the quantity of the steam. Fifth is sensible heat of water or enthalpy of water. It is defined as the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at a constant pressure from its freezing point to the temperature of the formation of steam, that is the saturated temperature. I can repeat what is the sensibility of water and what is the enthalpy of water. It is defined as the amount of heat required to convert the 1 kg of water at a constant pressure from its freezing point to the temperature of formation of steam. And it is also referred to as a total heat or enthalpy of water or total liquid heat. So the sensible heat of water is usually expressed by the HF, mathematically the sensible heat of the water. That is, the HF is equal to the mass of water into the specific heat of water and to the rise in temperature. It is a 1 into 4.2 under bracket T saturated minus 0 is equal to 1 into 4.2 under bracket T saturated plus 270 degree bracket close minus 0 plus 270 degree under bracket. That is the formula we created for that. That is a 4.2 T saturated kilojoule per kg. So the sensible heat of water, that is HF in kilojoule per kg, may be obtained directly from the steam table for any given pressure. Sixth is the latent heat of the vaporization. It's the most important second criteria to understand the property of the steam. It is defined as the amount of heat absorbed by the 1 kg of water at saturated temperature for a given pressure to convert the completely into the 1 kg of steam at the same temperature. It is the most important property that you have to remind and learn by heart. That is what is the latent heat of vaporization. That is defined as the amount of heat absorbed by the 1 kg of water at a saturated temperature for a given pressure to convert the completely into 1 kg of steam at the same temperature. So it is usually expressed by the HFG, that is the enthalpy of fluid and the gas. And it is also known as the latent heat of the steam. So in case of the wet steam with the dryness fraction X, the heat absorbed during the evaporation is X, it is the X dot HFG. Now, seventh is the total heat or the enthalpy of the steam. So we know that when the steam is completely dried up, the total heat represent in steam under the normal temperature, under the normal pressure conditions. So in this heat is required to rise the temperature of the water from the freezing point to the boiling point or saturation point, plus the heat required to convert the boiling water into the dry steam. So therefore, the heat required during the evaporation, that is, the mathematically we can express as a total heat of enthalpy of the steam is equal to sensible heat plus the latent heat. Now, the total heat or the enthalpy of the system of the steam is generally denoted by the Hg, enthalpy of a gas, that means, and its value from the trans-saturated steam may be read directly from the steam table for the wet steam. Dry steam and the superheated steam may be obtained as follows. And the eighth is the total heat or the enthalpy of the wet steam. The eighth point is total heat or enthalpy of the wet steam. It is the amount of heat required to convert the 1 kg of the water from its freezing point, and it is at 0 degrees Celsius at constant pressure, into wet steam of the trial with the Dreyer's fraction say X. In other words, the total heat or the enthalpy of the 1 kg of the wet steam H is equal to the heat required to rise the temperature of 1 kg of water from its freezing point to the boiling point, that is HF, the enthalpy of the fluid, plus the heat required to convert the same water from the boiling point to the wet stream of the dry fraction, that is the X into HFG, dryness fraction into the latent heat of the vaporization, that is the HFG. So mathematically we can say express that H is equal to HF plus X plus HFG as a total heat, and or we can say the enthalpy of the wet stream. Ninth portion, that is the total heat or the enthalpy of the dry steam or saturated steam. So what is the definition? That is, it is the amount of heat required to convert the 1 kg of water from its freezing point at 0 degrees Celsius at constant pressure into dry saturated steam. So in other words, we can say the total heat or the enthalpy of 1 kg of a dry steam H is equal to the heat required to rise the temperature of 1 kg of the water from its freezing point to the boiling point, Hg, plus the heat required to convert the same water from the boiling point to the dry saturated steam, the mathematically HFG. So H is equal to HF plus HFG is equal to Hg, where the value of HF, HFG, and Hg may be read directly from the steam table at the given pressure. And the tenth is the total heat or the enthalpy of the superheated steam. So it is the amount of the heat required to convert the 1 kg of water from its freezing point, that is 0 degrees Celsius at the constant pressure, into the superheated steam. Or in other words, we can say the total heat or enthalpy of the saturated steam at supersaturated, is equal to the heat required to rise the temperature of 1 kg of water from its freezing point to the boiling point Hg, plus the heat required to convert the same water from its boiling point to dry saturated steam, plus the heat required to saturate the dry steam up to the desired temperature T separated. So mathematically the expression will be written as well. So these all are the terms denoted by the temperature of the different terms used for the steams. And use of the steam table, as you know that the various property of the steam at different pressure, such as saturated temperature, sensibility of water, latent heat of vaporization, total heat of enthalpy of steam, specific volume, enthalpy of steam, etc., may be obtained during the experiments. And in actual practice, it is inconvenience to traders to find the relation between all these properties together. So for the compressive data about this property has been obtained by the formulating the substitute, equating of state in different regions with the helping of the certain experimental results. And the resulting data obtained is put into the tabular form as known as the steam table, and all these properties have the tabulated either or the pressure basis on the different basis. So this is some enthalpy and entropy diagram, which is represented for the diagram molecular chart to help to understand the steam table. And as you know that is the molecular chart will be introduced by the 1904 by the Richard Moeller. It is used by the engineer for calculating the various thermodynamic properties of the steam for to understand this better condition. So I hope you understand this, the pure substance part two. If you in doubt any query, you will drop me a mail and contact to me on my email ID amit.tiwari@mycanva.com, and you will contact me on mobile number 8690319448. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you doubt any query, you will be contacting me on my contact number. Thank you so much for listening patiently. I hope you this video.